Hey everybody, it is Daniel Glass, and I want to welcome you back to the final video in this 6-part series all about groove. In creating this series, my goal has been to guide you, in the words of Jules Verne, on a journey to the center of the groove. Playing a killer groove that really moves the audience is supposed to be job number one for us drummers. Yet, I have found in 20 plus years as an educator that many drummers fail at doing this job because they put their time and energy into working on the wrong stuff. And too often, they settle for good enough when good enough is not enough. So, the previous 5 videos are my attempt to address some of these issues. We explored the historical evolution of groove, we analyzed the musical function of a groove, and we broke down the main factors that make a groove successful. Most importantly, we explored the best route that you can take to develop what I call a golden groove. To that end, I outlined 6 major differences between 2 types of learning systems: the pattern-based system that drummers and educators have been using forever, and what I call the motion-based system. I explained in detail how when it comes to developing a killer groove, a system based in motions makes way more sense than one based in patterns. I also showed why a motion-based system is simple to apply because it's broken up into manageable components that you can practice in a systematic, linear fashion. In other words, each new motion is built on top of all the previous ones. Finally, I shared a case study showing how one of my students applied the motion-based system to overcome years of frustration, tension, poor balance, and pain to develop a deep, relaxed, natural-sounding pocket. If you haven't watched the first 5 videos, I strongly suggest that you do so right now, because they'll give you some really big insights into understanding your role as a drummer in a whole new way. Right now, I just want to take a second to send out a huge thank you to the hundreds of drummers who enjoyed the series and took the time to reach out to me and express their desire to learn more about the motion-based system. I'm happy to say I'll be laying out the entire methodology in my online course, Finding Your Golden Groove, which is now just a few days away from launching. I also want to say that I've gotten so much positive feedback on the course that the early bird list has actually grown a lot bigger than I expected. Right now, there are more people on the list than I'll be able to accept in the program. So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you detailed instructions about the steps you should take to ensure that you can get yourself a spot. But right now, I'm going to address some frequently asked questions that I've received about the motion-based system and about the Golden Groove course. If you don't see your question answered, please email me or message me directly, and I'll get back to you with an answer right away. The first question I've been asked a lot is this a live course, and do I need to be available when it opens? The answer is no. The units have all been pre-recorded, so once the course begins, you'll receive a new module of units each week for 8 weeks. Once a unit has dropped, you'll be able to access it as much as you like. Now, even though the course is pre-recorded, I will also be hosting weekly live Q&A sessions to answer all your questions about the material in the course. These Q&A sessions will be recorded so that if you can't be there when they happen, you can always watch them later on. 2 other questions I've been getting are really 2 sides of the same coin. The first is this course suitable for a beginner? And the second question is, can this course help me if I'm more of an advanced player? Well, the long and the short answer to both these questions is a resounding yes. So how is this possible? How can the course be suitable for both beginners and for more advanced drummers? Well, here's the answer. The motion-based system of drumming focuses on the how of playing the drums, not the what. As I've said many times throughout this video series, the goal of this system is to help you gain a deeper understanding of the ways that you move behind the drums. Not only how each limb moves individually, but how the body moves in sync with itself. As a result, the concepts and exercises that you'll be working on in the course won't really resemble what you typically work on in regular lessons or courses. Since these exercises will be new to just about everyone, metrics like the amount of time you've been playing, your level of independence, how well you can read music, your level of gig experience, all these metrics are sort of rendered irrelevant. As a result, I can pretty much guarantee that any drummer, from a total beginner to a seasoned pro, hasn't worked on this stuff and will gain a lot of new insight from this course. Just ask any of my students. Another common question I've been getting is, do you need to be from the United States in order to take this course? The answer is, of course not. Since I began teaching online over a decade ago, my student base has included drummers from 6 different continents, in every place from Melbourne to Mumbai. Anyone from anywhere can understand the experience of human motion. It's common to us all. So this system of learning will make sense to you no matter where you're from. Someone else asked, there's a ton of instructional material available about groove already on YouTube and elsewhere. What makes your course different? Well, in answering this question, I would encourage you to check out the 5 previous videos in this series, especially video number 4, where I explained 6 differences between a pattern-based system and the motion-based system. And here's a related question I've received. You talk a lot about focusing on the up and allowing the arms or wrists to drop. Are you suggesting that this is how I'm supposed to play all the time? What if I play heavier styles like rock or metal that demand more volume? Well, I would answer your question as follows. In the decade plus that I've been teaching the motion-based system, I've found that the fastest and most efficient way to get the best results with my students is to disrupt the bad habits that are so baked into all of our muscle memory. Disruption means slowing things way down and dramatically simplifying our motions. If the change isn't dramatic, most drummers won't feel it. Slowing down and simplifying allows us to create some space and let the body relax. Only then can we truly begin to analyze how we're moving. Instead of forcing our motions, we can learn to allow things to happen. And we can use the force of gravity and the natural weight of our limbs to do the work for us. In essence, we can begin to feel things differently. These are the processes that lead to a relaxed, economical, and deeper pocket, which is another way of saying a golden groove. Once we can begin to feel these changes organically, we can begin to add more downward force and generally play harder without all those old tensions and habits taking over. We can also begin to pick up our tempo back to more normal speeds. Okay, next question. You say that the motion-based system benefits drummers in all styles, from jazz to rock. How does that work in terms of the exercises? Will they be straight eighth exercises or swung eighth exercises? That's a great question. In this particular course, the grooves and other exercises we'll be focused on will be in a rock idiom. I designed it this way because the vast majority of drummers play straight eighth grooves most of the time, and even most jazz or blues players generally also play a variety of straight eighth feels. Now that said, even if you're a full-time jazzer, it doesn't mean that you can't benefit from many of the exercises that are being presented in the course. Since our focus is on motion, my primary interest is in getting you to feel certain things within each exercise. And so I think you would still get a lot out of the course, as well as the many free bonuses that I'll be talking about in just a second, and these are applicable to anybody. So here's the biggie. How much does it cost? Well, a lot of people have been asking me this question, and to be honest, I'm still going over all the materials and deciding on the final price. But that said, I promise you it's not going to be that expensive, and it will definitely include a payment plan so that you can comfortably handle the cost, whatever your financial situation. The course will also include an incredible batch of free bonuses, which are literally worth thousands of dollars. When registration opens in the next day or so, I will be sharing the price, going into much more detail about the content of the course and all of these bonuses. So I hope that answered at least some of your questions. Just so you know, I've put together a video and a page that has a detailed outline of the course that's going to go live in a few days. As I've been saying throughout this series, as much as I'd like to help everyone find their golden groove, I simply can't work with more than a small group of students to be able to provide the support and guidance that you'll need to get the results that you want. If you've signed up for the early bird waitlist, you're lucky because your chances of getting into the program are a lot higher. Shortly, I'll be sending out an email to everyone on the early bird waitlist with a special early bird registration link. One reason why I've created this early bird list is so you can get access before the general public. But to secure your spot, you will need to act immediately once you get that early bird registration email. Now, in case you weren't able to sign up for the early bird waitlist in time, you might still be able to get a spot in the class if you follow these instructions. Keep an eye on your social media newsfeed. As soon as you see an ad or an announcement that the doors to finding your golden groove are open, then click on the link. This will take you to the registration page, and then you should secure your spot in the class immediately. It's likely that there will be a rush to the registration page since there are so many people signed up on the list. But if you follow these instructions, you can increase your odds of getting a spot. That being said, I can't wait to knock it out of the park with all my new students and get you on the right track to finding your golden groove. That's all from me for now. Thanks for watching this video and sticking around with me through this entire 6-part series. I hope to see you in the class.